All right. Hello, Mrs. Johnson. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Very good. I just wanted to talk to you because I do see in your chart that you are a smoker. Does that tend to still be the case?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. And how long have you been smoking for?
About 8 years.
Okay. And roughly how much would you say that you're smoking per day?
I try not to think about it, but it ranges. I mean, depending on what I go through or social settings or how
Right.
stressed I am, between half a pack to a pack, pack and a half. I don't know. Somewhere around there for sure.
Right. And have you received any health education related to smoking and its hazards?
Yeah, like the basic stuff since forever, the billboards, the commercials, the ads,
Right.
all that stuff.
Right, the little advertisements. Okay. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I can go on and on about the health risks, such as, bladder cancers and lung cancers, but I do want to take the time to learn more about your smoking and perhaps set a goal of quitting. Have you tried quitting before?
I think I tried like cold turkey a year ago.
Okay, and tell me, how long did you last?
I mean, not too long, like a week or so.
Okay, well, don't be so hard on yourself. Many individuals who struggle with this addiction sometimes have a tough time of going 1 or 2 days without smoking. So,
Okay.
I think it was good because you were able to recognize that smoking is a issue and you did see yourself quitting. Um,
Definitely tough.
yeah. Now tell me, you know, you've been smoking for 8 years. Can you tell me what started you to smoke?
Uh, it was just like a whole bunch of stuff, financial issues, work, just everything, just troubles with money and just a lot of stress. So somebody offered it, I took it.
Mhm.
It was just kind of got
Yeah.
hooked on it.
Okay. And I appreciate that you were open about your history. It's good to kind of see where things started, to kind of and backtrack to that point in time. Now, tell me, when you think about smoking, what are you, from your perspective, see as the good benefits of it, and then the
Mm.
negative?
I mean, I do it with my friends, my coworkers, so it's
Yeah.
just something we do socially. But then also, it's a really big stress reliever. It just mellows me out. And the
Mm-hmm.
negatives, obviously, the big. It's really bad for you. So it's
Yeah. And so I see that. So you enjoy the social aspect of it as well as the stress relief aspect, but you understand the negative side effects or health risks. Am I hearing you correctly?
yeah, definitely.
Okay. And now, do you think, if you were to quit smoking, do you feel like you would lose that ability to fit in socially?
I wouldn't say fit in socially. I feel like I'd be okay. It's just the setting itself. Everybody does it, so it'd be
Right.
definitely a different environment
Diffi-
or
difficult dealing
difficult to be in.
right, difficult dealing with the peer pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Now, what about the stress relief? Are you worried about losing that stress relief aspect?
I'm worried that I wouldn't know how to handle certain situations without the smoking for sure.
Okay, and now don't be so hard on yourself. Many people with this addiction, face life events that make them fall into smoking, and then their dependence on smoking for such aspects such as stress relief. Um, Now, when you did do that 1 week of not smoking, can you tell me how you felt at that time?
I mean, the first 2 days, from what I can remember, were okay, but then just after that, I was just getting angry, agitated, just causing arguments with me and my partner, and just
Yes.
out of tension, just felt like it did more bad than good at the time, but I was just, it's hard.
I understand. Well, thank you again for opening up for me. I think even if I was in your shoes, I would have definitely struggled with that too. It's a big deed for anybody to go through. Um, so the one thing that I do want to say is you did try. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess you saw the negative impacts of smoking, and you decided that you wanted to quit. Is that correct?
Yeah, I just want to stop spending so much money, and then also
Yeah.
just with the arguments, just causing a lot of tension, and it's not good for me either. So
Right, and you have the right mindset. But just like many other smokers, I guess I feel like perhaps you tried to take a giant leap by quitting cold turkey instead of taking these small, gradual steps. which is why I'm here to help you out today, because that's tend to why we see people fail when quitting an addiction such as smoking.
Gotcha.
Now, um, can you told me about some arguments. I just want to know more about your personal relationship and how smoking has affected it.
I mean, financially, there's a lot of arguments on how much money is spent, and then the overall health on how bad it is for me, and just causes a lot of tension between me and my partner, for sure.
I understand, but it never gets violent, correct? Just no
Oh no,
arguments.
definitely not.
Okay, so I see. So based on what you're telling me, it seems like smoking has affected your own life, but also people around you as well.
Right.
Okay. Well, the one thing I do want to say is that spouses or partners tend to play a real big role in being a support system when someone's trying to quit. And the one thing that I can recommend is perhaps we have your partner come in and talk to me as well, and maybe we discuss the role that they can play in helping you quit.
Okay, I mean, anything I'm sure would help. That sounds good.
Okay, and then we can just make it a virtual visit, so we can make it'll be easier for you guys, so you guys don't have to come all the way to the office to talk to me. Um, so now moving more further into your smoking habits. I know you started to smoke because of some triggers, financial triggers back then. Um, are there any triggers today that you may recognize? Is it perhaps the social? Like, do you feel like you fall under the peer pressure, or is it the arguments at home? Like, do you recognize these triggers?
I feel like it's all of the above for sure. It's just anytime I'm stressed out or anytime there's just that social setting, it just kind of pulls me in and mellows me out. Whether it's even a non-stressful situation such as a social setting and stuff like that, I just always catch myself smoking.
I understand. Okay, and so is quitting smoking the goal that you want to make? Is this what you want to go for?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to stop arguing and stop
Saving a little
having
bit of
such
money.
a bad habit, saving money, just all of the above. There's more good in stopping rather than just sticking with it for sure.
Good. Okay, well, so I'll talk to you more about how we can go about this. And the first step that I'd want to do is just give you a little homework assignment to take home with you. And so, you can go to a store. It could be a Target or a little store, and what you're gonna do is just buy a little kind of notebook, and this is what we call a tobacco use logbook. Um, so you may be wondering what that is, correct?
Yeah, what's the point of it?
What's the point of it? Well, so for the next 2 weeks, you're gonna go home, buy the notebook, and for the next 2 weeks, you're gonna take notes. You're gonna take notes every time you smoke a cigarette, and I want you to put down some notes. I want you to note down, what emotions you are feeling, and maybe what led to you smoking that cigarette. Every cigarette that you smoke, you're gonna jot down some notes, okay?
I mean, that sounds doable.
Okay, and so the whole point of it is after the 2 weeks, we'll meet again, and then we'll see what, what triggers are in your personal life, and then it'll help us better understand of ways that we could try to reduce these triggers. Does that sound manageable?
I mean, I guess it won't hurt to try. Is there anything else you could recommend?
Okay, and now the second part, and this is going to be usually the one that people struggle with, but I'm going to have you go home and you're just going to get rid of any items that may be related to smoking, such as, ashtrays, or any kind of, products in your home that remind you of smoking. So we're gonna, you're gonna go home and get rid of any of that stuff, so you don't see it and you don't get visually tempted to smoke. And now in terms of the social aspect of smoking, it's gonna seem a little bit difficult, but maybe we'll start off slow, and perhaps when you and your friends go out, you may wait when they go out smoke and just try to hold back. They'll go outside, because a lot of times people are tempted to smoke when they have the scent of the smoke and they want to hop in and have a cigarette themselves. So maybe we'll hold back on that part to kind of help reduce that craving for the smoking. Okay. How does that sound?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything, so I just want the most help I could get for sure.
Okay. And regarding that extra help, I will definitely be sending you some additional resources to your email. And in this email, there's just going to be more information about local support groups. I think I strongly support these support groups. I think they work very well for many patients. And they will definitely help you get past any roadblock that you may have. I think these meetings are free, and so you're not spending more money. And I highly recommend you give it a try. I'll definitely locate some in your area and send you more information about them.
I mean, it can't hurt. The more help, the better.
Yeah, and so maybe we could set a little bit of a goal. Maybe let's start with one meeting at the group, okay? And then you'll talk to me about that meeting and how it affected you, okay?
Okay.
So one of the biggest risks is, of course, that smokers tend to fall back into their habits. So that's why we want to take these gradual steps. We have the homework assignments that you have, but let's set a goal date. All right, we want to visualize that goal, okay, and we want it to be the fuel to quit. We can choose any date, or we can choose a date that has a huge meaning for you.
Well, my wedding anniversary is coming up in 3 months, so I feel like it would be very beneficial for my relationship to try to hit that mark without smoking for sure. June 20th.
Okay. Okay, so June 20th. Okay, so let's set that as the goal date to quit. So you're gonna go home. You're gonna buy the notebook. You're gonna get rid of all the stuff in your house. You're gonna look at my email and look at the support groups and go for one meeting at least. And then in 2 weeks, when I see you and your spouse, we're gonna review your notes. And I want to see some documentation that you were at that support group and how it affected you. Is there any other questions that I may answer for you at this time?
I don't think so. I'm just kind of really excited to try to have some guidance and start moving forward.
Okay, well, don't hesitate to call if you have any other questions. Okay, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right.